Cub fans getting an autograph from an all-star candidate and an early MVP candidate, Dexter Fowler, as they head onto the ballpark. Phillies and Cubs coming up. Cubs go for the sweep. It's the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN. Great to have you with us. Hope your Memorial Day weekend is going well. Jim DeShays and Len Casper, and a nice win yesterday. Obviously the pitching by Kyle Hendricks, but some early offense as well.
Yeah, Hendricks was outstanding yesterday. Got a nice little push early on. Dexter Fowler started the ball game, bottom of the first, by hitting a home run. Breezy day yesterday, wind blowing out. Fowler able to elevate this ball to left center, drifts into the seats, and the Cubs have a lead they will never relinquish.
They get another run later in that inning, as the red-hot Ben Zobrist extending his hit streak to 14 games, an RBI double into the corner and left. It was 2-0. And again, plenty of run support for a guy who normally doesn't get much.
Yeah, it was an impressive outing from Kyle Hendricks yesterday. On top of his game all day long, that changeup had the Philly hitters mystified. Fastball command was outstanding. He had him beating the ball into the ground. He threw strike one to 26 of the 32 batters he faced.
So how about this, JD? His ERA is 2.93. That is good for fourth best on the staff.
Yeah, it's amazing the depth, the quality of this starting rotation. You see the numbers for Kyle yesterday. He went the distance. A fluky run in the ninth cost him a shutout. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 7.
All right, John Lackey will take the ball today, and when we come back, we'll chat with radio voice Pat Hughes coming up. Leadoff Man is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive their all-star lineup today. Visit buyhyundai.com. Welcome back to the Leadoff Man. The Cubs go for the 3-game series sweep over the Philadelphia Phillies. And it's great to have with us a longtime radio voice of the Chicago Cubs, now in his 21st season, Pat Hughes. Pat, first of all, a belated happy birthday wishes. So 21 years with the Cubs and 38 years old. That's impressive.
Yes, it is. I started at a very young age, Len, but the years have gone very, very fast. And this season, I think, by far is going to be the most exciting and perhaps the most memorable.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you and Ron must be having a blast. JD and I are as well. This team is never out of any game, even when they trail late.
It's got us dreaming of October baseball. Last year was exciting. I know you worked with us on the radio side for many of the postseason games. I think this year it might be even more so.
If you had to pick an MVP, it would be a tough choice right now, and that's a good problem to have.
Jake Arrieta, Dexter Fowler, Ben Zobrist, Chris Bryant. You're right, it is tough.
Yeah, and when you look at the All-Star team, the Cubs in 2008 were very well represented. I'm guessing they're going to have 4 or 5, maybe 6 All-Stars this year.
It wouldn't surprise me a bit because the Cubs have great pitching. We didn't even mention the bullpen, a solid bullpen, great lineup, good bench, and the best manager in the game, Joe Madden.
Well, one of your great hobbies is you have honored the great Hall of Fame voices on radio throughout this game's great history. And I know Father's Day is coming up, and on CD you've put out some wonderful additions, including Harry Carey and your former partner Ron Santo.
Yeah, they're right there in the middle. We've done 14 of those, but Harry Carey was so popular and so much fun. I got to work with him, Len, for a couple of years. If you loved Harry Carey, you will certainly enjoy his CD. Ron Santo is the only guy who did not do play-by-play in the group, but he and I were partners for 15 years. We had a tremendous amount of fun. We laughed every day, and that CD is not really about baseball, it's about laughter. In fact, right on the cover it says, if you love to laugh, you'll love this CD.
BaseballVoices.com to order your copy. In terms of Ron, and this goes, I think, with all the great baseball broadcasts, it is about the fun, right? And you'll have fans come up to you and say, remember when you talked about this? And it has nothing to do with the game itself.
I think the CDs, in a lot of ways, are about memories. We talked about dreams, the Cubs dreaming of October. Memory is also a big part of baseball. And to hear Ron's voice or Harry Carey's voice, it will bring you back to a certain time. So the CDs are about your favorite players, teams, broadcasters, but really they're memories about you. And that may be the most special memory of all.
Great stuff. Thanks for dropping by today.
Len, thank you.
All right, that's Pat Hughes, who works with Ron Coomer every day on The Score and the Cubs Radio Network. And when we come back, we'll talk about today's pitching matchup. Stay with us. Hyundai Leadoff Man is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive their all-star lineup today. Visit buyhyundai.com. Let's get into today's pitching matchup. John Lackey with a tough no decision his last time out in St. Louis. You see some of his strikeouts against his former team.
Yeah, he was really impressive in that outing. He's been impressive pretty much all year long. Velasquez, this young right-hander for the Phillies, he had a 16 strikeout game earlier this year against San Diego. He's got electric stuff. He can really beat you with that high heater. We look at some numbers in Velasquez's last start. Things did not go quite as well against that Tiger lineup. 4 innings only for him, and you see Lackey, brilliant numbers here in the month of May.
John making his 10th start here in 2016. It's Sunday, God Bless America, and our national anthem, and today it's the Messmers.
At this time, please remain standing and join Wayne and Kathleen Messmer as they honor our nation with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon for Chicago Cubs baseball. On WGN Sports, the Cubs go for this sweep and their 5th in a row as they welcome the Philadelphia Phillies. Happy Memorial Day holiday weekend. I hope it's going well. Jim DeShays and Len Kasper. The season has been going very well for Dexter Fowler and Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, two guys certainly at the top of the list when you talk about MVPs for the Cubs to this point of the season. Both switch hitters, both putting up tremendous numbers. You see where they rank in terms of offensive WAR. Zobrist 1, Fowler 3rd on base percentage. Likewise, 1st and 3rd. They're just hammering fastballs. And that's why this is a good matchup today. We got a high-octane guy in the mound for the Phillies. These two switch hitters can get after that good velocity.
Both had RBI hits in the 1st inning in the Cubs win yesterday. So Fowler, Zobrist, and the Cubs against the Phillies next on WGN. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Now at your Honda dealer. State Farm. Combine your car and home insurance with State Farm and start saving. Call your State Farm agent today or find one at statefarm.com. Mattress Firm, where we want you to sleep happy guaranteed. Remember, if it's over 8, it's time to replace. Your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And Chicago Cubs baseball in beautiful high definition is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Great summer tradition, kind of the kickoff to summer here in Chicago. Lakeshore Drive closed this morning for the Bike the Drive event. And a lot of people took advantage on this gorgeous Sunday. Let's get the Phillies starting lineup written out by Chicago native Pete Mackanin, their manager. Phillies off to a good start, struggling, however, as of late. Herrera, Galvis, and former Cub Andres Blanco, 1 through 3. Mikel Franco moves down to the cleanup spot. Tommy Joseph gets the start against a right-hander. No Ryan Howard today. Cameron Rupp is the catcher. Tyler Goodell in left. The pitcher hits 8. That's Velasquez, with Peter Borges batting 9th.
Let's see who's where for the Cubs this afternoon. Matt Caesar gets a start. He'll be in left. Fowler and Hayward. in their customary spots, center and right. Third to first, Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo. Miguel Montero will do the catching. And let's take a look now at our Cubs starter, brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. The Cards are carried through it all. And Big John is making his 10th start. He's 4-2 with a 3.38 earned run average. You see that whip, 0.95, among the best in the league.
Your umpires today, that's Sean Barber behind the plate. Dale Scott, the crew chief, is at first. Bob Davidson is at second. And Lance Barrett over at third.
Lackey 2-1 with a 2.12 ERA here at Wrigley this year. This is his 5th home start. Been very reliable every time out, pitching late into the ball game.
Just picture perfect. A few wispy clouds above and a wind blowing straight out.
College coach, the great Dick Rockwell, said, if you can't play today, you can't play.
Right. Phillies finishing up a 6-game trip. They have dropped 4 of 5, and we are underway. Ball 1 on Odubel Herrera, who leads the National League, seeing 4.41 pitches per plate appearance. So he'll make you work. Bryant is in at third. 2-0.
And typically you would say it would be a big challenge for him to have that kind of an at-bat against John Lackey, who's one of the most aggressive pitchers in the league. Throws strike 1 a high percentage of the time and quite often follows it up with strike 2. He doesn't nibble. And just misfiring here to get started with the first 2.
Brings his hands over his head as he deals, and that ball's popped into left field. Matt Caesar makes a grab. 1 away.
Lackey pitching at 37 years of age. He's the same guy he's always been. He'll still top out at 95 miles an hour, sit comfortably around 92 with his fastball velocity. He's getting a lot of swings and misses at his slider or cutter, using his curveball a little bit more this year than last.
Sinker is low on switch hitting Freddie Galvis. 2 hits yesterday, including a double. Hit by a pitch. Scored their only run in the 9th on a weird play. The double should have been an out. Miscommunication in shallow right between Zobrist and Hayward. And eventually Galvis scored on a strike 3 to Ryan Howard. Ball got away from Miguel Montero. He had to throw to first. There was nobody near third, so Galvis took advantage of that, and as Montero threw to first, he crossed the plate and broke the shutout.
Yeah, because of the shift, he was halfway down the third baseline as the pitch was being made, so he was able to scoot home and break up the shutout.
2-1. It's slowly on the ground to Rizzo. Lackey's got a cover. Now we go 3-1. A little bit of a tricky play there because of the angle, but Rizzo with kind of the option quarterback move.
A little backhanded flip up above the belt.
Back-to-back switch hitters, Galvis and Blanco. He's in for Cesar Hernandez at second. 2009, Blanco was a Cub, 53 games that year. Came up originally to the big leagues with Kansas City, 2004. 0-2.
Now, this Philly team does not have a lot of firepower. Next to last in the league in runs scored, better only than Atlanta. Scored 3 runs so far this weekend.
Foul tip, strike 3. Phillies go quickly. Cubs coming up. And 6 here at Wrigley Field. Their Southwest starting lineup as follows: Fowler, Hayward, Bryant 1 through 3, Rizzo, Zobrist, Montero 4 through 6, Russell, Caesar in for Soler, and Lackey 7, 8, 9.
The fighting Phils defensively: Goodell, Herrera, Borges, left, center, right. Franco Galvis, who's made just 1 error this year at short. Blanco second. Tommy Joseph, former catcher, at first. Current catcher Cameron Rupp. The big fella is behind the plate. And Vince Velasquez, 23 years of age, 6'3", 205. Power right-hander, 5-1 with a 275 earned run average. So this will be an interesting day here at the ballpark as he makes his first ever start against the Cubs.
Fowler looks at a strike. 93 on the gun.
He'll sit right there, 93 to 95. He can max out around 98. Both the slider and the curveball. Likes the curve a little bit more. And occasional changeup.
First time he has ever faced the Cubs, and therefore first time he's ever pitched here at Wrigley Field. You try to tune it out if you're a pitcher, but it's very difficult to, and that is the direction of the wind. And if you look up at the flags in center field, you go, okay. Wasn't a problem for Kyle Hendricks yesterday.
No, that was a good day to be a sinker baller, and then Velasquez is not. He's more of a power pitcher with that fastball, curveball repertoire. Likes to elevate the heater to try to get swings and misses. And that's where you could get burnt by what otherwise would be a lazy fly ball.
Full count, 3-2, so 0-2 to full. Hayward next. Now he's got that classic power pitcher windup, big leg kick. As a sign from Rupp. And feathered into center for a base hit.
Stay hot. A big reason why he's putting up the numbers he is this year is his work from the left side of the plate. He's always been better as a right-handed hitter, but adding 333 from the left side prior to that swing. A career 257 left-handed batter. So marked improvement from the left side for Fowler.
Now Jason Hayward, 2 doubles in the ball game yesterday. Knocked in one, scored one. Joseph holds on Fowler. So that pitch, JD, came in at 95 miles an hour. StatCast had the exit velocity at 62 miles an hour.
Yeah, he didn't exactly crush that ball, but it was well placed.
Shallow left, and it'll drop. So 2 men on, and a couple of softly hit singles. Things are changing for Jason Hayward when those start to drop.
2 doubles yesterday. One was a bit of a blooper down the right field line. The other one a solid line drive to left. Just went off the end of the bat. Just a little flare.
Early trouble for Velasquez. 23 years old. Will soon turn 24 on June 7th. And the pitch to Chris Bryant is a strike. Bryant's only 24.
Yeah, these are fun matchups. 2 young guys. Power pitcher, power hitter.
One and one. Velasquez is from Southern California. Hometown is Pomona, located in Los Angeles County. As a senior at Gary High School, he hit .608 and went 6-1 as a pitcher. Second-round pick of the Astros 2010. Phillies got him in the Ken Giles deal prior to this season. And it's looking like a good trade for the Phils at this point. They got more than just him.
They got Brett Oberholzer, who's in the bullpen now with the big club, struggling. Tom Eshelman, Harold Aras, Mark Appel, former first-round pick, also over to the Phillies in that deal. Yeah, that's a lot for the Astros to give up. And now Giles is a power arm, and you like to have that kind of ability in your bullpen. But give up the potential quality innings that the Phillies will get from Velasquez and Appel. If he ever figures it out, it could be a real big win for the Phillies.
A 1-2 to Bryant, a swing and a miss. He got him on a fastball. So that's the first out. Here comes a struggling Anthony Rizzo. Couple of men on. Chance to do some damage here. I should note also in that deal, you mentioned Harold Aras or Aras.
Yeah.
Jonathan Aras or Aras, same last name, went the other direction. They are not related.
Really?
Both from Panama.
A couple of GMs just having some fun.
Ball one on Anthony. For his last 41 without an extra base hit. Pitch. Strike.
Yeah, I'd have to take a look to verify it, look at the numbers, but my hunch is over the last couple of weeks not walking as much, and typically that happens when a guy starts to struggle. He tries to hit his way out of the slump, and you start to expand your zone. A little perhaps overly aggressive with that down and in breaking ball lately. Well, it's just a matter of time.
Galvis is out. He will not make the play. Great read by Fowler, and he will score. So 3 hits in the inning. None hit very hard at all, but the Cubs lead 1-0.
Yeah, this is the problem when you're not a ground ball pitcher. You can get victimized by hits like this. This is a tough inning for Velasquez. 3 very soft hits. With the Cubs on the board here early. 3 bleeders to draw first blood.
Pete McCannon will not challenge the safe call. It was close.
The tag was on the back of the helmet.
Here's Ben Zobrist. It does not get any easier for the young right-hander. Zobrist with a 14-game hitting streak. And sitting on 599 career RBIs. Oh, and 1. Table setter Dexter Fowler comes through again here early. Hard on 1 hop, and it'll go 4-6-3, a double play to end the inning. Cubs grab the lead though. It's 1-0 after 1.
Log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner, and there you'll connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information from the comfort of your home. Game Zone is sponsored by the Great Escape, pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Everything you need to have more fun at home this summer.
Remember yesterday we were talking about baseball's yin and yang, the paradoxes. 3 softly hit balls, all for hits. 1 hit right on the button. 4-6-3 double play.
It's a wacky game.
Mikel Franco leading off for the Phillies. 1 ball, 1 strike. You mentioned they don't score a lot. Averaging 3.22 runs per game. Only the Braves have been worse. 3.19 among all major league teams. So the margin for error is pretty small. That's why the Phillies had to rely on really good pitching. Why are the Cubs so good? Because they're getting even better pitching. And arguably the best offense in the National League.
Yeah, the Phillies in this rebuilding phase. They're not expected to be good. They lost 99 games last year. They're the worst record. That means they get the first pick in the draft coming up.
1-2 is popped up. Rizzo battling that sun, and he makes the catch. Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Plan now to get tickets to the matchups you want before they're gone. There are still tickets available for this homestand, especially the 4-game Dodgers series, which begins tomorrow afternoon. So go to Cubs.com and get your tickets before it's too late. Tommy Joseph playing first. Outside corner and a strike.
No relation to Tommy John. Former catcher in the Giant organization. The Phillies got him in a Hunter Pence deal. I like his bat. He suffered multiple concussions, so he's moved out from behind home plate trying to figure out first base. It's all about for the Phillies now, trying to figure out who their guys are going to be going forward, trying to identify their core. That may sound familiar to Cub fans. Outstanding rotation you were talking about. Plus Tommy La Stella. Let him into the pitchers union for a day.
Hit to center, and Fowler will make the catch. We'd love to see your Cubs selfies at #WGN Cubs. The Oskrobas. Is that from today? Are they here today?
They are indeed.
All right. Daughter Paula, my stage manager. So send them to #WGN Cubs, and we will have our fan cam segment a little later, and you might see yourself. Cameron Rupp fouls away. 0-1 on the Phillies catcher. Hayward ends up leaving his feet after making the catch. Couple of hard hit balls to end the Phillies' second. As they've sent 6 to the plate, all 6 have been retired. 1-0 Cubs early.
Check out Len and JD's baseball blog at WGNTV.com.
You have a hard time saying it that way.
Is sponsored by Jeff Vukovic, your nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 38 years. To join the nation, join Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Check it out, JD and Len's baseball blog.
Although I guess if you're going left or right, never mind. Don't consider. Miguel Montero takes pitch low for ball one. Keeping an eye on Jake Odorizzi's got a no-hitter through 6. Tampa Bay leads the Yankees 1-0. We will keep you informed. 2-0. Game 3 of a 10-game homestand. Dodgers are here tomorrow. First of 4. Montero high and deep. Right field. Off the board. 2-0.
Well, that's a positive development. Montero works his way back from the DL, trying to find his groove. Been doing a lot of work the other way, and he's good going the other way, but every now and then you got to turn on one, make some noise.
First homer.
Opening day, wasn't it?
Opening night in Los Angeles. Or Anaheim against the Angels. Yeah.
Belt tie heater, and he was ready for it.
Russell fouls back. Yeah, he homered on Fernando Salas in the 6th inning on opening night. Some DL time. And back on the home run carousel is the 114th of his career. Russell swings and misses for strike 3. Let's check out Southwest Airlines. How far did it fly? 425 feet. Go to WGNTV.com/contest for a chance to win round trip travel for 2 on Southwest Airlines. Matt Caesar getting the start in left. Batting 8th.
Pretty good numbers for an 8-hole hitter. Pretty good numbers for a 3-hole hitter.
Made it back. Ended up getting a fastball. That was definitely late there. 0-2. Because he was late, they came right back with some more heat.
Well, you know, Velasquez, I think he's pretty proud of that fastball. Maybe a little bit upset the way things have gone here the first couple innings. Some bad luck in the first and gave up that long home run to Montero. And, a young guy, a lot of times they just start to reach back and try to throw it by you.
It's caught by Rupp. Tomorrow is Memorial Day, and the Cubs will host the Dodgers at 4:05 p.m. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans will get a Ryne Sandberg retired number flag presented by Pepsi. For more information and ticket availability, visit Cubs.com. I think Ryne will be here. We'll sing the stretch. He's here most days. Brought back into the organization. He's really enjoyed watching this team gel.
Chatted with him earlier this year. He said he was going to plan on being out here most of the summer.
1-1 on John Lackey. Good rip at that pitch. 1-2. Aiden McSherry, big Cub fan in Atlanta watching. Happy 14th birthday. Ismael Martinez, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, celebrating a birthday today. It's a good one. Lackey strikes out. But John will take the mound leading 2-0 after his battery mate and a leadoff homer in the second.
It's time for the Subway third inning triple play promotion. Text Subway 3 to 97999. Do it now. And the 300th texter will win a $30 gift card to a Subway restaurant in the Chicagoland area. Subway, fresh is what we do. Turkey, light mayo.
Provolone?
Yeah, I go back and forth with the cheese.
Okay.
I got all the shakers, going to do the oil and the vinegar.
A win today, and the Cubs would have their first 3-game series sweep over the Phillies at Wrigley Field since 1995.
Yes!
You didn't remember that series until we reminded you of it earlier.
Well, I remember the particular game that I was involved in. I don't remember the sweep. I was so much worried about the team at the time. I was worried about my own business.
Well, you happened to suffer the loss in the final game of that series, and it ended up being the final game of your career.
Yeah.
Which you have talked about before.
Scrambling to hang on, just like the guy falling off the cliff with his fingernails, hanging on. Wile E. Coyote style. Came out here, it was about 100 degrees, the wind was blowing out. Before I even left the hotel, I knew this is going to be the day, my friend.
Adele fouls 2-2.
This is not going to go well. Todd Zeal took me deep.
Late July 1995.
It was a very short-lived time with the Fighters.
This was the #1 song in the land at that time.
What really stunk about that, so there was That team got off to a really good start, that Philly team that year, and I was down. It was the year after the lockout strike of '94. I was pitching in Scranton most of the year, AAA, just trying to reinvent myself. The Phillies got off to a great start that year, and then they went south, so it was kind of a toxic environment I came into. And I made 2 starts, 1 at home. That one didn't go a whole lot better than the one we just looked at, and then this one here. And then, yeah, as I've told you in the past, walking between the towers at the Hyatt over there in Wacker, and I saw the heat rising up off the street. I knew the wind was going to be blowing out. And I said, this is not going to play. But I had to go with the team after the game to Atlanta and wait out an off day, and then got released the next day.
We always say every off day is a good day, but it was not for you. You said the beat writers were kind of giving you the hey.
Like
have you heard
vultures,
anything?
man. Every time I saw somebody in the hotel, they were circling around. Have you heard anything? Well, apparently you guys have. Got any news for us?
That's some self-awareness on your part.
Yeah, I was a better scout than a pitcher at that point in my career.
Velasquez trying to bunt. It's 1-1 on the Phillies pitcher.
Philly pitcher hitting 8th has not really played well for Pete McCann in this series. There's been a couple of times where that spot has come up with a couple of guys on and 2 outs. Here it's ideal. He's got a chance to run a man over. Whoa.
Step in the bucket, swing. 1-2.
Swing hard in case you hit it. Approach here by Velasquez. You talked about the numbers he put up as a high school hitter. Now, does that mean it's going to translate at this level? Not likely. The fact that they free him up to swing leads you to believe that he's got a little ability with the bat.
Good look from just above Waveland Avenue.
I also think against the Cubs lineup with the wind blowing out, if you're Pete McCann, you're probably thinking, why give up any outs?
The interim manager in the middle of last year when Ryan Sandberg resigned, he is now signed through next year. Spring training was extended through 2017 with a club option for 2018. Their general manager is Matt Klentak. The president is Andy McPhail. The Cubs GM and president. Fly ball to right. Hayward makes a catch. 1 out in the 3rd. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Gorgeous day before Memorial Day. Summer has finally arrived here in Chicago. We will have tomorrow's game right here on WGN at 4 o'clock. Borges, the hitter. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. You should have applied at Dunder Mifflin if you were in Scranton already.
I know.
I don't see why you wouldn't have done that. Although they may never have hired Michael Scott, and we wouldn't have had a.
I could have seamlessly transitioned from my gig with the Red Barons to Dunder Mifflin.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
You know, you could take these online surveys, kind of like quizzes, and be like, which cast member? You answer a bunch of questions. It'd probably be Kevin.
You'd be in a Police cover band playing drums. Yeah.
getting ready for second lunch.
He struck him out. 2 down.
Yeah, check out John Lackey. First time through the batting order, 137. We note that just about all of his starts real clean early. Been victimized by a handful of big innings this year. Other than that, he's been dominant.
I'd say Kevin or maybe Creed.
Well, I think I'd like to be Jim, but I think it'd be more fun being Kevin. Herrera's an interesting guy because he's got that big leg kick, but he still is able to work a lot of walks. He stays in the zone, keeps his hands back. That's the key for him.
Cubs added a game to their lead yesterday as the Pirates lost in Texas, so 5.5 games up on the Pirates. And a lead change in the American League Central. White Sox couldn't hold a big 9th inning lead, lost to Kansas City. The Indians lead the Royals and Sox by a half game in the American League Central. Seattle has a half game lead over Texas in the West. Couple of months in, some of the races starting to develop a little bit. Mets and Nationals might go at it all season long in the East.
This Philly club heads home to play the Nationals. So they went from Detroit to Chicago and now the Nationals. The Tigers playing much better baseball of late.
Only 2.5 out. Oh, Herrera turns himself around on that swing. Leadoff walk, no runs. 2-0 Cubs. Not waited around. Those 2 innings only have put up a 0 in the second inning Friday.
Well, the offense had been dormant there for a while. Last road trip and get a whole lot done offensively in Milwaukee and San Francisco. Had one good game in San Francisco. And then last couple games in St. Louis really turned things around.
Fowler lines to Borges.
It's more of that yin and yang. As Flair went for a base hit, line out. Was very well struck.
Great early, leading off an inning. He is now 31 out of 85, so way over 300 to start a frame. Hayward 1 for 1. And ball 1. If you're wondering, did Velasquez ever have Tommy John surgery? The answer is yes. Did not pitch the year after he was drafted due to elbow reconstruction, and admits that he nearly quit while going through that rigorous recovery. While he was rehabbing, he got a pep talk from Doug Brocale, who had gone through a couple of those, and basically said, you're not going to quit now, as Hayward pops out to the shortstop. Galvis 2 outs. Jeff Passan's book, The Arm, I don't know if you've read any of it. The first chapter goes through Todd Coffey's second Tommy John procedure, and it is incredibly detailed, and I think it demystifies the whole thing. But I think we look at it now like you go in and get a prescription for a cold or something. It is a pretty traumatic thing to go through it. Long rehab process. There's always an assumption that, no, just have Tommy John, you'll come back stronger. That is not always the case.
Yeah, now they're doing a lot of studies into how long guys last post Tommy John before they might need a second one or ultimately blow out. Brocale would be a good guy to talk to. He missed a couple of years due to injury. Ended up playing till he was 42 years of age.
Bryant for a one-hopper to Galvis, who backs up. The throw, however, had not much on it, and Chris is safe at first with an infield single.
Now, breaking ball, it stays in the zone. That usually gets hit hard by Bryant, and Galvis back on his heels. Pretty good exit velocity on that shot.
So it's Rizzo. RBI single in his first at bat. He is tied with Bryant for the team lead now with 36 knocked in. It's kind of an easy prediction, but I'm going to say at least 2 Cubs will drive in 100 this year.
Yeah, well, if that's the over/under, I'm probably going to take the over on that one.
I think there are 3 or 4 guys, include Russell, who may be on pace, all with at least 30. They haven't even played 50 games.
Yeah, we're
yet.
not to the 1/3 mark in the season.
I know in the big picture it doesn't matter. I'm sure Chris would tell you whatever, but he finished with 99 last year. Probably stuck in his craw a bit, so I'm sure he's pretty focused on getting into triple digits this year. Didn't he have a bunch of chances in that last game?
It sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You know, we talk a lot about RBIs. It's a team stat. It's a function of opportunity in many ways. So as you dig into the analytics of baseball, you can see that RBI, kind of like pitcher wins, can be an overrated statistic. However, there's still some magical numbers, and driving in 100 runs in a season is one of them. Yeah, and if he goes on to drive in 100 and you know, the next 10 years, he'll always be haunted by the fact that he didn't do it, you know, every single year. Pujols, right? He had a run like that.
So that game was in Milwaukee to end the regular season. His first plate appearance, he walked with men at first and second and nobody out. He actually walked twice with men on base in that game. So I'm sure we sang his praises for not going out of his zone to try to get
playing the game.
Number 100.
Yep. He's a selfless player.
3-1 to Rizzo, and it's ball 4. So 2-out rally here, and it's Zobrist. This Thursday, June 2nd, is Jersey Off Our Back Day here at Wrigley Field. Cubs will battle the Dodgers at 1:20. After the game, autographed game-worn jerseys will be awarded to lucky fans in random seats. Compliments of Majestic, the official on-field uniform of Major League Baseball. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. We often have the debate whether it's lucky fans in random seats or random fans in lucky seats, but I guess it's the same difference. Strike to Zobrist.
It's kind of like Oprah. You look under your seat and you get a prize. Is that how they do it? I'm sure they just call it the seat number.
You've been watching Oprah lately? That's
nah,
your second?
I'm just familiar with the whole
Got a
Oprah.
2-game Oprah reference streak.
I know. Well, DiMaggio had his thing. I'm going to have mine.
Zobrist to right. Borges back. Into the basket. A home run. A 3-run shot for Zobrist.
You win a car. You win a car. You win a car.
5-0.
Roy Hobbs has done it again. 444 the batting average during its 14-game hit streak. Prior to that swing of the bat. Oh my goodness, is this guy on fire. Look at the bat flip, he says with irony. Just lays it down, trots around the bases.
Montero homered in the second. So the Cubs have scored in all 3 innings to start this one. So he does surpass a 600 RBI mark in his career. He's got a 15-game hitting streak. And our Southwest, how far did it fly? Far enough, 352 feet. Go to WGNTV.com/contest for a chance to win round-trip travel for 2 on Southwest Airlines. Ball to second. That's Blanco. And that's the inning. But Bryant with the 2-out single followed by the Rizzo walk. That set it up. But Ben Zobrist 3-run homer, and it's 5-0.
Cubs are getting it done on the field, but need your help to get to the All-Star game this July. Help send your Chicago All-Stars to San Diego by voting early and often. Vote now at Cubs.com/vote.
Freddie Galvis finds the alley out in left center. And he will drop anchor at second base. Leadoff double, and that is the Phillies' first hit. Starting the fourth inning. No hitter now in St. Pete. Starlin Castro broke up Jake Odorizzi's no-hit bid in the seventh with a go-ahead two-run homer.
Well, we showed you those numbers earlier, how good Lackey has been first time through the batting order. This is the second look, and now Galvis looks that double into left center.
That will get the runner to third, although Blanco is trying for a lot more, and he just about tripped over first base. Runner at third, one out. From Blanco to Franco, Michael will step in. Ball one.
Franco will chase that high fastball. He can do different looks with his breaking pitch. Make it a little bigger, throw traditional curveball, then throw kind of a slurvy slider, and sometimes more of a cut fastball.
2-1. Well, the featured series this weekend around baseball, Dodgers and Mets, and I would have to say it's lived up to its billing so far, right? Friday night you had 19-year-old Julio Urias make his debut for the Dodgers. Curtis Granderson hit the big home run for the Mets that night. Surrounding the series, you had the return of Chase Utley to New York after the slide that took out Ruben Tejada in the playoffs last year, and the Mets whispering about retribution. You had Lasergate.
Yeah,
the Mets upset that the Dodgers were possibly putting markers down in the outfield grass for their defensive alignment. And then in the game last night, the Dodgers won it 9-1. Chase Utley gets buzzed, and Noah Syndergaard immediately thrown out of the game. There were a lot of people around baseball who thought that was a bit premature. I mean, to me, the Mets are talking about hitting Utley for months and months and months. Yeah. That is as purposeful a pitch as you'll ever see. Yeah. I don't think any warning needed to be issued.
No, that's an understanding, too, that some folks think that you have to have a warning before you can eject a guy. That is not the case. If the umpire feels like it's intentional, he has every right to toss you. And Utley responds in a big way, doesn't he? Hit 2 home runs, including this one that cleared the bases.
He has 9 RBIs in the first 2 games of that series. And we will see him tomorrow with his Dodger teammates here at Wrigley Field. A 4 o'clock Chicago time start.
So light your briquettes accordingly. You got a plan for that 4 o'clock start.
First and third. And a 1-0 to Joseph. Ground ball not hit very hard. Zobrist will not apply the tag, but they've got a shot here to end the inning. Runner, he called him out for going out of the baseline.
This is going to be interesting now to see whether they count the run or not. I don't know when this out was recorded.
No, the run does not score. And Pete McCann not arguing at the moment, so that's it. Inning over. 5-0. Our unique State Farm double play replays.
Yeah, this is kind of a bizarre play. Franco does the right thing in trying to avoid the tag to keep the play alive, but is ruled out for leaving the baseline as Galvis kind of slows down approaching home plate. So the question is, does he cross home plate before the out is recorded out there on the tag play, or the leaving the baseline ruling? It looked almost simultaneous. I'm really surprised that Pete McCannon didn't go out and argue and ask for at least a review on that one, or talk it over a little bit. So Galvis, he's got to sprint home. That's number one. Franco, if he just backpedals and stays in the zone or in the baseline, he's going to be okay. That's a base runner. It's not to don't, whatever you do, don't get tagged.
Right. Cubs double play replay brought to you by State Farm. Combine your car and home insurance with State Farm and save. Find an agent at statefarm.com. 1-2 on Russell.
Now on a traditional 4-6-3 double play, it doesn't matter when the outs are recorded and with the runner coming home, but on that tag play there, it changes the equation a little bit.
Russell went. That is a strikeout.
Cub fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
And based on the replay we saw in terms of when the runner actually veered out of the baseline, it looked well before he got to the plate. Right? It's not really the call itself.
I don't know.
I mean,
I do not know. I guess lesson number one for Freddie Galvis, who's taking this huge lead down the third baseline throughout this series.
Right.
Just sprint home. Don't peek over your shoulder and watch the play develop.
And the other question is, if he goes out of the baseline, is it just a 4-3, force?
I don't know. I don't
matter,
believe so.
Does it even matter?
I mean, we're trying to make a tag play here. I think that would be the
right. Well, there was no argument.
Yeah.
From the Phillies, so.
Maybe McCannon is thinking teachable moment. We got what we deserved.
Two on Matt Caesar. Ball strike three. So 5 strikeouts for Velasquez. Next Sunday, June 5th, the Cubs host the Diamondbacks at 1:20. The first 5,000 kids 13 and younger get a Cubs laundry hamper presented by Vienna Beef. Following the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger will get the opportunity to run the bases, weather permitting. For details, visit Cubs.com. Galvis with lots of time, and that's a 1-2-3 for Velasquez. All Cubs 5-0. third bank, the curious bank. Cubs lead this one 5-0. They've only failed to score once. That was in the last half inning.
Three spot in the third, really opening things up. The Zobrist home run. Had a pair of 6-run innings in the series at St. Louis. Four spot in game one of this series, a 4-run fourth. So a lot of big crooked numbers going up on the board for this offense of late.
Foul strike on Cameron Rupp. Nothing in 2. Mentioned on the leadoff man. Cubs starting rotation. Cubs pitching in general, best ERA in all of baseball. 267 going in. Lackey among the 5 starters has the highest ERA going in at 338. Arrieta 172, Hamill 217, Lester 248, Hendricks 293. Pretty impressive.
Now, what's league average? 370 something, 380-ish?
In a second. .406
yeah.
in all of Major League Baseball, .402 in the National League. Rupp will hold it first. And Caesar got it back in quickly.
Hey folks, you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch brought to you by Budweiser. Not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. The vocal stylings of Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer and who knows who else in that Cubs radio booth.
Mark Brody and Dave Miska up top usually join in.
They'll be doing the doo-wop. Ball that Rupp has hit hard today, lined out last time.
To third. They'll try to go around the horn. And they do. 5-4-3, a double play.
Tough little short hop there for Bryant, but he handles it nicely. Zobrist over the top with the turn. Close, but they got him. Dale Scott, the first base umpire. A good long look at it.
That's a base hit as the pitcher Velasquez gets a big hacks his first time up. And that Cubs double play replay brought to you by State Farm. Combine your car and home insurance with State Farm and save. Find an agent at statefarm.com. Yeah, on that weird double play earlier, JD, I don't think the timing of when Galvis crossed home plate really mattered, because I think the runner going to second was out before the force at first. It became like a double play. It wasn't that the last out was the runner leaving the baseline. It became the second out. The third out was the force at first. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yeah.
So if they got... let's say the batter stumbled out of the box and they got the guy between first and second, caught in a rundown, tagged him, and then forced the runner at first. It's a force play to end the inning.
So even if the runner from third crosses home before the tag is made.
Right. Because he left the baseline before the force at first. Make sense? 4-3 double play.
Yeah, it does.
If, let's say, Zobrist throws to first, then they throw to try to get the runner and he runs out of the baseline.
Then it matters.
Then it matters. Yep. Pretty sure that's how it went, and maybe why Pete McCannon knew they got it right.
Yeah. He might have been involved in a play like that in his playing days.
I don't know if I've seen one quite like it, but yeah. And Velasquez will get to second on a wild pitch. Three and two with 2 outs. Borges, the number 9 hitter. Herrera is on deck. And ball 4, so he will get a chance. 5-0 on April 16th with the wind blowing in at 15 miles an hour. Feels a lot different than it does on a day like this.
It's the first little crisis point in the ball game for Lackey. A comfortable lead, but it can get uncomfortable in a hurry here. Now Herrera doesn't have a ton of power, but he's got some pop. He's hit 5 home runs this year, and he's certainly capable of reaching the seats. You know that his stroke appears to be geared towards left center. Herrera was a strikeout victim last time. Took an awkward swing at a slider under his hands. Philly hitters having more success here. Second time through the order. They just had 1 reach first time through, the walk to Goodell in the 3rd. 5 men have reached now as they work their way through the batting order a second time.
Inside on Herrera.
Lackey averaging almost 7 innings per start. That's well above league average. 7 innings last time against the Cardinals, a no decision. Struck out 9, walked 1. So again, when Matt Adams hit the pinch hit home run to tie it in the 7th.
Big cut and a miss. Herrera did not get cheated.
2-0. He's selling out on a fastball, and he flipped up a good curveball there. The Odubel Herrera story this year has been, here's a guy who hardly ever walked last season to a guy who's seeing a lot of pitches and drawing a lot of walks, well above league average in terms of his walk rate. But we've seen some anxious swings from him here today.
He struck him out. Lackey comes back, gets Herrera. Phillies strand 2. Cubs have the top of the order coming up, already leading by 5.
What's wrong with being confident? What's wrong?
Coming schedule: 4 with the Dodgers, 3 with the D-backs before heading out on the road, and right back at it with the Phillies, and then on to Atlanta. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or localfordstores.com.
Back to work at the plate now. Fowler. A soft liner for a single in the first and a hard line out in the third. Here comes a 1-0 from Velasquez, and he drops it in for a strike. It's 1-1.
Time for a minutia moment. Dexter Fowler, as a left-handed batter this year, coming into play today, batting .448 on right-handed fastballs. And as a left-handed batter, look at that 336 OPS, up over 1,000, well above his career marks. It's been hard to sneak the cheese by him.
Well, you might call a home run count here. 3-1.
He's in a cheesy count. See if he challenges him. He flips up a little Philly cream right here.
Nope, ball 4.
In the heater, but he didn't really trust it.
Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Join the Cubs season ticket holder waiting list today to claim your spot in our lineup for season tickets. It's easy and free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list. Here's Hayward. 1 for 2. Velasquez steps off. And it's high for ball 1.
Let's take a look at our Alexis run predictor. So Cubs well above league average, with the man on first and nobody out. Brought to you by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealers.
Two 2-0. Happy birthday wishes, Joseph Leonard Pletka from Manhattan, Illinois, 19 years old today. Told he is a nephew of former Cub player and coach Gene Clines. Hit hard, and it kicks off the glove of Galvis. Fowler caught between second and third, and now Hayward heading to second is going to be safe there, and Fowler is out trying to get into third. That was wild. Well, I thought Galvis might just tag Hayward before he threw to third.
No, there was a chance. That would be a gutsy try on his part. But, Fowler, realizing he was in deep trouble, tried to stay in the rundown so Hayward could get into a scoring position. But yeah, that was close, and close at third base as well. So this should go as an error to Galvis. It'll be just his second and the first in a long while. Overly aggressive with the turn there at second by Fowler. Did he tag him? I don't think he tagged him.
Well, the Cubs did ask the video room to look at it and are not challenging. They're waiting on a scoring decision. Apparently he did somehow.
I don't know. I didn't see it. Oh, yeah, he did. I'm sorry. My bad.
6-5, 4-5. So it was Blanco who had the ball and threw to third. And Hayward was in the area. Error Galvis. So it snaps a long errorless streak. 44 games. He had not committed an error. And now just 2 on the year. In 49 games, it's short.
There in the outfield grass with Bryant up. Chris almost knocked him down last time he was up.
Two and one. So I think Blanco didn't see Hayward coming behind him, and he probably could have tagged him out. But had he done that, Fowler is likely safe at third. So in the end, Blanco did the right thing. He got the lead runner. Here's a pitch to Bryant, and it's now 3-1. See, Andres Blanco at second. This is Galvis throwing to third. Blanco's standing on second. So watch where Hayward is when he gets the throw. I mean, yeah, he'd have been out, but I think Fowler then probably just takes off for third. And gets in.
And then the focus for Blanco's got to be on Fowler.
Yep. Bryant into center and a base hit. Hayward around third. Gary Jones will send him. A bobble by Herrera. There will be no play on Hayward, and it's 6-0.
You can see the body language of Velasquez. He's pretty tapped out there mentally. You know, a couple of those pitches threw one real good slider just off the corner to Bryant, who leaned but didn't offer. Forced into the strike zone. Another sharply hit ball by Chris. He's been right on it twice here today. Fielded cleanly by Herrera. Probably have a pretty good shot at Hayward, but obviously he did not field it cleanly.
So an RBI single for Bryant gives him 37 knocked in. Bob McClure, the pitching coach, talking it over with Velasquez.
This guy's getting a little bit of an education his last couple of starts. He had a little big league time with the Astros last year. Pitched in 19 games, made 7 starts. So very inexperienced. Talk about his 16 strikeout game against the Padres. He's had some very good games. He brought a 2.75 ERA into this one, but roughed up a little bit by Detroit last time, and they've got a lot of tough outs in that lineup, and now he's having to deal with his Cub group.
Bryant now 1 RBI off the lead. Nolan Arenado has 38. Short lead by Bryant, but Velasquez throws over anyway.
They throw over to first every time somebody gets on base before they make a pitch.
Brett Oberholzer brought over from Houston in that same deal that Velasquez from the Philly is up in the bullpen. Deflected off the glove of Velasquez, and he will not make a throw, and nearly threw that ball into left center. So Rizzo on for the third time.
And wheels coming off here for Velasquez. Some sharply hit balls, some soft ball. This one a little bit of changeup off the end of the bat. Pretty athletic play here, going to the ground to barehand that one and even contemplate a throw to first base.
Zobrist has hit the ball hard twice, once for a double play, the other time for a 3-run homer. I like the second result a lot better. Back to our Lexus run predictor. Let's get it done here. First and second, 1 out. Just better than half the time in terms of getting any runs. League average just over 40%.
And you'd have to boost that number a little bit with the guy in the batter's box right now.
I think. Borrow a phrase from a famous commercial. Ben Zobrist might say, "I don't swing often, but when I do, I usually make contact." Stay hitterish, my friends. Foul tip, strike 3. So 2 outs, now Montero.
Pretty good win for Velasquez in that situation, because my money was on the man in the batter's box getting his third look at him, the way he's swung the bat here today, the role he has been on. You don't see that many check swings from Zobrist. Does not fool easily.
Montero. Shallow left. Base hit. Run scores. Bryant is in. It's 7-0.
Well, we'll see how much Pete Mackanin is going to let his young right-hander endure here today, and well, that's going to be it right there. Pete bounces out of the dugout. He's going to make a pitching change.
So all Cubs again today as they go for the sweep pitching change, and we'll be back. Play brought to you by Xfinity as the Mets are celebrating the 30th anniversary of their World Series championship from 1986. Jesse Orosco to DJ Carter, son of the late Hall of Famer Gary Carter, as they relive that big moment. Speed replay brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Pretty cool.
Bet you it was a slider.
Here's Brett Oberholzer.
Brett Oberholzer, well, the one number you have to focus on is right there at the bottom of our graphic. 9 home runs allowed in 22 innings of work.
I feel bad. I feel like we're picking on you today. We were hoping that you might relive that moment in Houston.
Yeah,
30 years ago.
Yeah, that was
great regular season.
Great postseason.
Postseason.
Red Sox and the Angels with all the drama, and of course the Mets beat our Astros club in a dramatic series.
Swing and a miss. And a changeup. Ground to Galvis. He feeds Blanco and the inning is over. Cubs add 2 to their lead. It's now 7-0 at the end of 5. Cubs baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. Hang out Lincoln Park. As everybody's pulling out the shorts, t-shirts, ready for what we hope is a great summer here in Chicago.
We went from soup weather to watermelon weather like that.
Oh, 2 on Freddie Galvis.
Yeah, see that pitch, that's been a huge weapon for Lackey. That power slider, and he's got a good depth on it. And a huge swing and miss pitch for him. A big reason why his strikeout rate was so high coming in, 26%, highest of his career.
Zobrist to Rizzo for the out.
The best way to get to Wrigley Field is by using public transportation. The Cubs offer a free bike check that's located at the Addison Red Line station. And if you drive, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For information, visit the A to Z guide at Cubs.com.
Blanco 0 for 2, and he pops it up foul behind the plate, and that will get back to the seats.
There's basically two tribes of people I've noticed on these pop-ups. There's the look up and the cover the head. Some people stare straight up, and other people just immediately go to the duck the head.
Play by Rizzo and a perfect feed to Lackey.
Talked earlier about Lackey and his ability to pitch deep into games, and it's all about his aggressive approach. He's so efficient, stays on the attack, a few pitches per hitter, start after start. He's able to stretch it out, especially with this comfortable lead.
Franco walked in the fourth and then called out as he left the baseline in a 4-3 double play. Hard hit ball. Russell at short to end the inning. 7-0 Cubs in the sixth. TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Caesar golfs into a shallow center. Herrera makes the play. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Gorgeous day at Wrigley. Temps in the mid to upper 70s. Wind blowing straight out. Cubs offense has taken full advantage. The Phillies offense has been handcuffed by the man at the plate, John Lackey.
Cubs got a complete game from Kyle Hendricks yesterday. Lackey on pace to do the same here today. With the bigger lead, Joe may decide to shut them down and go to the pen and give them a little work. We'll see. Good swing.
Talking with Joe this morning about Kyle Hendricks. And he referred to a game in the Texas League, right? He was managing back in the mid-'80s.
El Paso, I think.
And it was a doubleheader, each game 7 innings. Starter in, I think, the first game had a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the 7th as Lackey strikes out looking. And he said, I pulled him. He was just dealing. Brought my closer in, we lost the game. And he said ever since that moment, and he referenced yesterday, he thought of that.
Yeah, and the pitcher, I think, Phil Venturini or something like that.
Phil Venturino, I think. Yeah.
Said he looked like Vinny Barbarino. And he was more of a command type guy like Kyle.
This is tough.
Oh man. Focusing on the ball. Lost the hat. Guy with the ball starting to feel a little guilty, a little sheepish. So here you go, consolation prize. That's it. You earned it. You got it. I'm good.
Midland, 1986, I believe. Phil Venturino, right-handed pitcher. You take your lumps as a minor league manager. That informs Joe to this day as a big league skipper.
Yeah, and that's not to say you should never remove a guy who's pitching a really good game, but score matters.
It reminded him of that day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have these things to fall back on. And before I make that move, consider the Venturino game.
Fowler walks. 3rd time out of 4 tries he's been on base.
We were talking with Joe yesterday. We were talking about Don Zimmer. And Joe said the time he spent with Zim, the advice he got was, if you think of it, do it. Which is really interesting.
If it pops into your head, do it. There's a reason.
Yeah, Zim, of course, was famous for being, start the bases loaded with start the base runners and a hit and run, like the squeeze play. Bit of a daring approach.
Zim was not afraid. One strike to Hayward. Crawley, Rock Island, Illinois. Belated birthday wishes. She turned 90 yesterday. rooting for the Cubs in the 1940s. Low and outside. (3-2). Cubs have one loss to the National League East. It was to the Braves. Come in at 7-1. This road trip is a 3-city NL East trip. A lot of NL East on the road ahead. At Philly, at Atlanta, at Washington, and then the trip after that at Miami, Cincinnati, and then at the Mets. Ball 4, back-to-back, 2-out walks.
Patience by these Cub hitters against Overholzer, who's not a hard thrower, below average velocity, so he's going to try to spend as little time in the strike zone as possible and get you to chase. So it's tough to do against this group. Best pitch, probably the changeup. Be a big noise coming here soon.
Calling it?
Well, if you didn't get that strike call, I was more inclined to call it. But and then this is the way, Bryant's seeing the ball really well today. Yeah, I'm calling it. Good changeup, and actually has cutting action. Not likely by design.
Two on Chris. Cubs have scored in every inning but the fourth.
A little show me fastball off the plate inside. Likely to come back with that changeup here.
Both runners will move up.
Well, that changes the situation a little bit. Now with the base open and Rizzo on deck. And they decide to be cautious here and go after the lefty. That sounds like a hedge. It absolutely is.
Three straight walks to load the bases. Bob McClure, the pitching coach, out to tell that Oberholzer stop walking people. Or something like that.
If they do, I'd give it 9 home runs in 22 innings. I'm trying to be careful here.
19 years. A major league pitcher.
Really? I know he pitched a long time. I didn't realize it was that long.
Actually finished with the expansion Florida Marlins in 1993. Rizzo has 2 singles, an RBI, a walk, and a run.
So the young lefty's in a bit of a bind here.
And fouled away.
So here's a, it's more kind of minutia. The major league average for fly balls that turn into home runs, a little over 12%.
Okay.
Seems like a big number when you think about it. Overholzer, his fly ball to home run rate, the 34%, more than a third of the fly balls off of this kid this year have left the ballpark. So there's got to be some bad luck involved there, right?
You would think. 3 times the average.
I mean, their home ballpark is a good place to hit. The ball jumps back there at Citizens Bank.
Oh, what a pick by Joseph. That saved a couple runs. But it's still 7-0 after 6. Time now for our Cubs fan cam. Strokes, Thread of Joy, new music from a great band. Joseph with that terrific play at first, leading off the 7th. One and two. Curious, the Strokes have a new EP coming out, and they have released 3 new songs. Fouled off. Pat and Ron and the boys over on the radio side will sing the stretch today. He gets a sign from Montero, and here's his pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Number 5, it comes on the slider.
There are exactly 20 more people in the house than there were yesterday. 41,575.
Can you name them?
No. Rupp cuts and misses. That's a strike. 0-2. Hockey has been strong throughout. David Hernandez, right-hander, up in the Phillies bullpen.
A big part of the Phillies story this year has been the back of the bullpen. Hector Neris and then Genmar Gomez. We have not seen them in this series.
And Rupp strikes out. Montero will fire to first.
He's just toying with these guys now. John's 5 starts leading into this one. 8 innings, 3 runs, 7 innings, 2 runs, 8 innings, 1 run, 6 innings, 1 run, 7 innings, 3 runs. On his way to another dandy.
Goodell, a Rule 5 pick. 2 starts in the series. And a high drive out into left center. And it's gone. A home run. Second of the year for Goodell. Gets the Phillies on the board.
Phillies have not done a lot of hitting in this series. Certainly have not done a lot of slugging. It's a backdoor slider, a backup slider rather. Off the bat, it didn't look that dangerous. Wind blowing hard here today. Out she goes.
David Lowe batting in the pitcher spot. Takes ball 1. Lowe, L-O-U-G-H. Left-handed bat, and he pops it up. No play for Montero. The line on the starter, Velasquez, 4 2/3, 9 hits, 7 runs. And they were all earned. Yes, they were all earned. So we have a scoring change here.
His worst outing of the year, and I would imagine there's going to be a lot of pitchers who will say, yeah, my worst outing came against that Cub lineup. Low with previous big league time with the Royals and Baltimore.
Yeah, Hayward reached down an error, but I think basically it came down to fielder's choice. As Fowler made the out on the play, so not many of those runs are earned in the 5th. 3-2 pitch. He walked him.
Probably get something going in the Cubs bullpen. Chris Bosio is going to stroll out and have a chat. Three or four different relievers got up in the bullpen yesterday, but none got into the ball game as Kyle Hendricks went the distance. A lot of fastballs, cut fastballs, figuring into that mix as well.
Popped up. Let's see if Rizzo has a play. Looks like he does. And he's got it. And the inning is over. Stretch time. And it's brought to you by Budweiser.
Today's guest conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game will be the Chicago Cubs radio booth.
All right. Nice and loud. Let me hear you. A 1. A 2, a 3, take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root, root, root for the it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right. Thank you.
David Hernandez, fastball strike on Ben Zobrist. Nice work by the radio crew. Oh, 0-2.
First year in a Philly uniform for Hernandez, a former Diamondback. It was a 2.78 ERA.
Just nearly got clipped. Former Oriole as well. Did not pitch in 2014. Tommy John surgery March 24th of 2014.
Fastballs and sliders for the most part.
Zobrist strikes out for the second consecutive time. Tonight at 9:40 on Instant Replay, a look at a new gymnastics training facility just down the street from the ballpark. A preview of the only men's professional golf tournament in the Chicago area this year, plus the usual stuff. The 100th Indy 500 is today. Warren Majera hosting.
Got my money on Nyquist.
I don't know if he's running.
Former teammates doing battle here, Montero and Hernandez.
0-2. That's something to add. I forgot. Probably wasn't that good anyway. It'll come to me later. Oh, I know what it was. Cubs are 19 games over 500 for the third time this year. A win today, and they would be 20 over for the first time. Chance to go 34-14 through their first 48. That was a good note.
Quality note right
Glad
there.
I didn't forget it. Meanwhile, this will be a winning month. Cubs have been at least a 500 team in each of the first 8 months under Joe Madden. Previous manager to start his Cub career with 8 straight months of 500 or better baseball. Jim Fry, who did it in 1984 and the beginning of '85. The other 2 Cub managers to do it, Frank Chance and Rogers Hornsby. Six straight months of winning baseball. First time since 07-08. And they've gone 104-57. Most wins in a 6-month stretch since they won 105 between June of 35 and June of 36.
Well, most folks coming into the season thought the National League would be very top heavy. Some elite teams, a lot of teams scuffling trying to find their way. That's pretty much been the case. Did the math a couple of days ago, and at the time the top 5 teams in the National League collectively were 55 games above 500. Giants playing better than 600 baseball. Mets and Nationals both 8 games above 500.
Montero works the walk. He's had a really good day. Speaking of that, let's check in on the Honda game summary. Get amazing deals at the Honda Dream Garage sales event now at your Honda dealer. Montero with his first homer since opening night. 2 RBIs he's reached 3 times. Ben Zobrist with a 3-run homer in the 3rd to extend a hitting streak to 15 games. Barehanded play, Hernandez, but Joseph comes off the bag at first. And it's a base hit.
That'd been a tough go for Russell. He punched out his first 2 times up, bounced into a forced play last time, so he gets a knock here. Obviously didn't hit it hard, but you're looking at a loafer, you'll take it.
Two on for Caesar with 1 out. Ground ball, hard hit. Foul. Ooh. Close. Ball made by Lance Barrett.
Caesar also 0 for 3 so far today and just misses a 2-bagger. Caesar, an East Coast guy, played his college ball at Villanova in Philadelphia.
Nothing in 2. Tommy La Stella on deck, potentially for Lackey. They're in extras in Toronto, 3-3 Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Franco steps on 3rd, throws to 1st, safe. Phillies thought the inning was over. Pete McCannon has challenged the safe call at first.
I don't know if Franco would have been better off trying to go around the horn with that double play or taking the 2 long strides he took to get to 3rd base.
My best guess is out, but it comes back to if there's conclusive evidence. What say you?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. If I had to make the call, looking at the replay we just looked at, I would probably say out.
It's not your best guess. Got to see it out for sure, and that's going to be a quick review. And it is out. So it is a double play, 5-3, and the inning is over. Cubs lead 7-1. Grade 8 stat of the game, brought to you by Mattress Firm, where we want you to sleep happy, guaranteed. Remember, if it's over 8, it's time to replace. Excellent starts. Only 3 earned runs allowed by the Cubs starting pitchers in this series.
And remember, Thursday was an off day. So you had off day and then all that good work by the starters. So really well-rested bullpen heading into the 4-game set with the Dodgers tomorrow.
So Travis Wood is in for John Lackey, who went 7, gave up 4 hits and 1 run. Odubel Herrera with a fly to deep left. On the track, it is Caesar. 1 out.
News out of St. Louis, Johnny Peralta, who was working his way back from thumb surgery, will have his return delayed because he cut his other thumb on a box.
No.
Yesterday was his birthday. He was opening up a birthday present. Cut his thumb, so probably just set him back 3 or 4 days, they're saying. Had to get some stitches. And you may remember his manager, Mike Matheny, when he was playing, cut his thumb on a hunting knife that he had received as a birthday present. And, he was out a good while with that. Damaged tendons. So really, with the money these guys are making, they should pay somebody to open their birthday presents for them.
That's a good point. Speaking of injuries, we get a lot of tweets, people asking about the progress of Kyle Schwarber. I ran into Kyle yesterday, not literally, in the clubhouse. Spirits are up. There are basically 3 stages after the knee surgery.
Denial. Warning.
The first is taking care of the inflammation, kind of the early recovery from the surgery. Then there's kind of the muscle building and the rehab, the getting yourself back into shape. Then there's the get ready to play baseball again, the third and final part of it. It depends on the guy, but if each stage is roughly 6 to 8 weeks. But he's not going to play this season, so the Cubs can be very conservative with those stages to make sure he's ready for spring training. As Russell makes the catch, Caesar right behind him. So he's doing well. It's going to be a long haul. And that's the update.
Caesar not taking anything for granted. He's coming hard all the way. Russell is camped underneath.
I'm guessing, not having ever gone through anything like it, the hardest part for a guy like Schwarber, or we mentioned the Tommy John guys, is that the baseball stuff comes last. And when you're a baseball player, you want to play baseball.
Yeah, you want to get in the cage and swing the bat. And
yeah. Line drive that'll roll for a bit after it got past Russell. But nice play by Caesar. That keeps Blanco to just a single.
All right, here's a fun one. This date in baseball history is Joe Maddon's going to make a pitching change. We'll talk about that when we come back.
That is what we call a tease. Pedro Strop is coming in, and JD's got something great for you as well.
Boy, I hope it's as good as I hope. We'll have to come up with another one now.
We'll be right back.
Watch it can cool me down. I've been sad.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. Here's Pedro Strop. Cubs lead this game 7-1. Runner at first, 2 outs, 8th inning. Mikel Franco, the batter.
Strope's second appearance in this series. He threw one pitch the other day before the rains came.
Blanco advances.
They're not able to handle that up and in heater.
Should be a pass ball. Strop knocks it down. And a nice pick on the short hop throw. Rizzo bails out Strop on that play, and the inning is over. Memorial Day baseball from Wrigley Field at 4 o'clock Central Time. Left-hander Alex Wood against the Cubs' Jason Hamill. And the Dodgers have a late one tonight in New York. Dave Roberts, their first-year manager, trying to win the West for the 4th straight time, but trailing the Giants by 4.5. 10 guys on the DL to start the year. So they've been banged up, but they're playing well here lately.
It's interesting, sort of seeking their 4th consecutive NL West title. I think most people view the Dodgers as underachievers in recent years. That's kind of a weird dichotomy.
Yep.
Colton Murray has worked 9 times, and he's been pretty good with a 1.46 ERA.
All right, I don't want to forget your
baseball history.
Okay.
Joe Niekro, longtime major league pitcher and a good hitting pitcher, but he only had 1 home run. He had over 900 at bats, and on this date in 1976, he hit his only major league home run. What makes it interesting? And you know the punchline, right? Got it off his brother.
He hit it off Phil?
Phil, yeah.
You're not saying Phil.
I think it takes a knuckleballer to know a knuckleballer.
Right. So Joe was an Astro when he hit it. Debuted with the Cubs in '67.
Phil might have threw him a little BP heater. I don't think so, though, because I think it was an important home run. I think it ended up winning the game, helped the Astros win that ball game.
So it was right at the end of Joe's career, right? When he was a Minnesota Twin, when he got caught with the paraphernalia in his back pocket.
87-ish maybe.
Umpire came out to check. Empty your pockets, and an emery board just kind of flew off to the
Which is
side.
interesting, because if you're going to scuff a baseball, you're not going to carry an emery board in your back pocket.
Was it literally for his nails?
I'm guessing the emery board was for a knuckleballer is always manicuring his nails. Now, that's not to say that he wasn't doctoring the baseball some other way, and maybe the emery board was kind of like a red herring that he was trying to. I don't know. Because if you're scuffing a baseball, the way you're going to do it is you're going to glue a little sandpaper to your hand, or you're going to have a tack in your glove. You're going to do something like that. Because you can't pull an emery board out of your back pocket on the mound in front of 40,000 people and start to deface the baseball.
10-game suspension for that, 1987. Had a long major league career. And sadly, Joe passed away 10 years ago.
Boy, it's been 10 years.
Yeah, 2006.
He was beloved down in Houston, man. I was traded for him, so I never played with him. But the guys that were there when I got there absolutely loved Joe. Told a lot of great stories. He was old school all the way. He pitched a lot of complete games. Of course, a lot of starters did back in the day, especially a guy who threw as many knuckleballs as he did. He wasn't as knuckleball reliant as his brother Phil. But after every half inning, when he'd come out, pitch the inning, and he'd come and he would sit on the stairs in the tunnel leading from the dugout to the clubhouse in the old Astrodome. And he'd fire up a schmag and have a can of Coke. He'd take a couple drags on his cigarette and then extinguish it with a Coke. And so if he pitched 9 innings, at each step there'd be like 9 steps worth of little cigarettes and Coke puddles. Don't try that at home, kids.
Do not. Two on Dexter Fowler. It was the right back pocket. Everything just kind of flew off to the side. Happy Cub fan right now. Herrera got a good jump, and he's out. So they said he dropped the ball, pulling it out of his glove. Bob Davidson made the call.
Herrera plays a very shallow center field. This time it pays off. Fowler floated one out there for a knock first time up. Umpires giving outfielders more leeway on this play now. It used to be you had to make a clear distinction. Clearly pull that ball out of your glove, show control.
We'll get a change here. 7-1 Cubs in the 8th.
Chicago. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
Cubs looking for their 5th consecutive win. They seem to be on their way, leading 7-1 late. The pitcher is Hector Neris, looking to Jason Hayward.
Yeah, Phillies have really found something here in Neris. He's been on the scene for a couple of years, but really blossoming this season. And a tremendous split finger pitch. And basically, the Phillies told him, hey man, you got to rely heavily on that pitch. He threw it a fair bit in the past, but now about 60% of the time.
That splitter moves all over the place. Two outs, nobody on. 2-2 count.
As many guys throw the split finger pitch as maybe a generation ago.
Ball strike 3 to end the inning. So let's go to the 9th. It's the Cubs 7 and the Phillies 1.
Baby, don't you wanna go?
Tomorrow had a left triceps issue, so he was pushed back from Friday. That's why Julio Urias made his major league debut. Jason Hamill off to a great start. We'll look for his 7th win right here on WGN. That's tomorrow. Justin Grimm looks to get the final 3 outs today in a non-save spot. First baseman Tommy Joseph looks at ball 1.
Good work from Grimm thus far.
Hit a ton to center. And it's out. A home run. 7-2. Good news for the Cubs. The 2 homers they've given up today have been with nobody on base.
Joseph is intriguing. He's had some good swings in this series. Been playing the game yesterday. Lined out first time up today, and now he goes dead central off Grimm. Compact, quick stroke.
Strike on Rupp.
Rondon, just in case, is going to start loosening. Is everybody around baseball on high alert with what happened to the White Sox yesterday?
He's got to get over. He does. Long throw from Rizzo. And one out. Yeah. He started that ninth inning with a 7-1 lead.
Glove work here by Anthony. He's made a couple nice plays today.
Goodell homered in the 7th. And ball 1. We talk about comfortable leads. It might feel that way sitting at home, but no manager ever feels totally comfortable. Honestly, I think more managers are comfortable when their team's down 17-0 than if they have a lead, because that's about the only time the game feels like it's over.
Not a whole lot of managing you have to do at that point. You have to always just be aware of the worst case scenario, the what if game. This guy gets on, and this, all of a sudden one swing and it's a different ball game.
Biggest thing when you're down big is, do I have to use a position player to pitch? Two-one. This is the one thing you can't do here, and that is walk people. So expect Grimm to be aggressive here. And he is with a fastball taken for strike 2. 3-2. Popped him up. And it's Zobrist calling off Rizzo. 2 outs. Now Cesar Hernandez, who came in to play second base in the last half inning. These last 2 days, and you mentioned it earlier, Phillies have scored 3 runs total with the wind howling out of Wrigley Field. Now they have struggled this year scoring runs, but give the Cubs pitching staff a lot of credit. One and one.
That is 5 runs total for the Phillies in this 3-game set.
Strike away. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs sweep. They've taken 5 in a row, and they're now 20 games over 500.
Kind of a blueprint win for the Cubs here today. Another spectacular effort from the starting pitcher. They're playing a little long ball. Zobrist and Montero both go deep. They cruise to another easy win over this Philly ball club.
So the final score, the Cubs 7 and the Phillies 2, and the Dodgers now come in for a 4-game series starting tomorrow afternoon. John Lackey gets his 5th win. He's 5-2. Vince Velasquez in his Wrigley debut drops to 5-2 as well.
Baseball time is here.